I'm Jessica Lahr, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com on Wednesday, February 7th. We are live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio, where I'm joined by Jim Sinicropi and Josh Durso.
Here we are.
We made it here.
It's a little snowy.
You made it here. We've been here all morning, but I mean, look at it outside our office right now, our studio.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it was pretty slick out there. I decided not to take River Road today, so I took 5 and 20, and it was still pretty nasty.
Yeah.
What's the deal, Josh, on the snow? It's supposed to end around 5 o'clock?
Yeah, it'll be ending around dinner time. Pretty much by this evening, everything should be good. Everything should be fine. Everybody should be able to get from point A to B. I don't think things are quite as bad as what some had forecasted or thought the last couple days. So that's a plus. I think in Seneca Falls and Seneca County, and even in Ontario County, a lot of the reports are only a couple, 3 inches of snow right now. So depending on how things shake out the next 3 to 4 hours.
So it's still coming down.
It's still coming down, and it's going to keep coming down for the next 3, 4, 5 hours. So, there's plenty of time. But
I thought spring was here in February.
I know, right?
But
wishful thinking.
But this is nothing that we haven't seen frequently before. This is really kind of just another winter day in the Finger Lakes.
Oh yeah, this always happens in February. In fact, it happens in March. We always get shocked by some kind of we're in New York. What do we expect?
I'm surprised at how many things got canceled.
Yes.
It's this little snowstorm, but
kids had a snow day. I almost thought they were going to join me today.
Yeah, it was early this morning. They canceled before it even started snowing.
I think they had to, just out of the precaution, because you don't want to get into a scenario where it was going to be the worst in theory between 1 and say 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right when buses were going to be going out to bring kids home, and you don't really want to take that chance. So I think that was probably the calculated risk that the districts were taking when they
I think we're kind of becoming weak, and then everything's closing, like the town of Seneca Falls offices and community center closed. What else is closed? A lot of
no unnecessary travel in Ontario County. That was the last alert that I had gotten.
It is, you can't head out and drive 65 miles an hour down River Road in Geneva, but you can drive 40 miles an hour and be perfectly safe, right?
Yeah, I would say, just use caution.
Now. I was at 40.
Yeah.
If you have good tires. If you don't have good tires, you probably shouldn't go out.
It just seems like everything gets canceled now.
I know, we're
7
living
inches
in
of
the
snow,
South.
big deal, right?
Don't know how to take care of our roads.
And like always, state roads, your main roads are always your primary. They're the ones that are best, and as you slowly work your way out into the more rural areas, things are going to be a little sketchier. So of course, think about that.
On its way out there. See that U.S. mail truck?
Well, they won't stop for anything.
No, they don't. They're amazing.
Hail, rain, what's this saying?
I have no idea, but I've heard it a million times.
I don't know either.
You never heard the saying?
No
rain,
matter
sleet,
the weather,
snow, or hail will keep them from their pointed rounds or something like that?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah.
Oh, no. I know.
They're a dedicated bunch.
Yeah, there you
they
go.
Sure
He's
are.
walking into that house across the street from our, to deliver the mail.
Jim, I don't know if they would appreciate that.
What, being on camera?
Yeah.
Well, they're on a public road. He's doing a good job. Look at him. He's on to the next house.
Well, I'm sure the mail service appreciates it.
It's good publicity for them.
That's right.
Everyone's still going to get their mail today. Don't worry.
That's right. Oh, goodness.
And there's a plow behind it. Keeps clear.
Minute by minute update.
I'm not sure, out of all the vehicles that I could imagine driving around today, I'm not sure I'd want to drive around a mail truck. You ever seen, they look a little squirrely in the snow.
A little squirrely.
Right?
Well,
they look like they're running on just barely their tires.
Just
they're hugging the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not comfortable with it. I'll say that.
Oh my gosh! Good thing you don't have to be in it then.
That's right.
All right. Well, what does this weekend's weather look like so far for us, Jim?
Not bad. It's going to snow Friday again. Nothing too major, but it will snow. 70% chance, mainly after 11 in the morning. High near 30. Friday night, chance of snow, cloudy. Low around 18 degrees, 50% chance of snow. Saturday, 30% chance of snow, mostly cloudy, high near 34. Saturday night, better chance of snow, low around 25, 60%. So it's going to be consistently snowing, but nothing like outside here on Wednesday afternoon today.
Yeah.
Sunday, temperature's going to rise to 38, and it's going to be a mix of rain and snow. Mostly rain during the day, snow in the morning, snow at night, 60% chance. Sunday night, 40% chance of snow, 19 degrees. And then Monday, mostly sunny, high near 32. Tuesday, partly sunny, high near 75.
Stop.
43, high near 43. On Tuesday. That's a long way out. That's a long way out, but we are. And then, maybe if that'll be it. Maybe it'll be time for spring.
That brings us to, that brings us to Valentine's Day. That's wishful thinking.
Probably not, but 43, this time of year does feel like 75 sometimes.
Yep.
With the sun.
It gets us halfway through February.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
All right, Josh. Well, what do we have going on in the news?
We've got news. So a significant amount of money was found missing from the Clyde Savannah Elementary School parent-teacher group. Officials say it was discovered last Friday when a member attempted to withdraw funds from the school for a school-related event from their bank account, and
oh my goodness,
it was empty, all gone.
From a bank account.
From
it
a bank
wasn't
account.
like in like a box in a
bank
closet.
account.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Wayne County Sheriff Barry Wirtz says it is a significant amount of money, but
oh my God!
Didn't identify an amount.
Yeah,
didn't identify anyone who is a suspect. That said, the district has said in a quasi sort of piecemeal statement that they have an idea of who the suspect might be, but they just aren't saying any names.
If it came out of a bank account, it can only be so many people that could do it.
Right.
But I don't understand why not just say how much it is. What's the secret?
Maybe they don't know. That was one of the things that I was thinking about. Maybe they just literally do not know the extent of how much was.
A significant amount of money is different to different people. So a significant amount of money could be $200 or it could be $20,000, but it makes a big difference into, how big of a story this is, right? Is it a grand larceny charge for this person?
That's really what it comes down to. Yeah. That said, all of the events that were going to be sponsored and or paid for by those funds and that organization, like the Daddy-Daughter Dance that is scheduled for within the next 2 weeks, all going to continue. So,
good. I thought you were going to say cancel.
No. I'm not sure who's going to be footing the bill for those various activities, but they will still be happening. So no worries.
Good.
There. Also, did you hear about the Inn on the Lake?
No.
In Canandaigua?
This is crazy to me.
They're closing until 2020.
What?
Yeah.
Are they renovating?
Yeah. So the Resort and Conference Center was built in 1970 as the Sheraton Canandaigua Inn. It's going to be closed for 18 months. It'll reopen in 2020, and it's going to be completely transformed. Modern, awesome, spectacular, all those really great things. Nice. Managing Director Chris Burns says, the vision is to create a beautiful modern waterfront inn featuring world-class facilities and amenities. Canandaigua Mayor Ellen Palameni called the project wonderful and said it would not use any city-assisted money or anything like that. Of course, that's what people always care about.
So 2020, you're talking 2 years from now.
Right.
And I imagine they wouldn't open it in February. It would probably be in the spring or summer.
Yep.
So they must be extensive renovations, but that seems like a lot. It's amazing that any business could stay closed for that long.
For 2 years to.
So one of the sort of collateral impacts, we'll call it, the jobs. So during peak season, they employ around 200 people. This time of year, during the winter, they employ around 60. All except a very, very small few of those employees have been let go.
Wow.
So for the next 18 months, those folks will have to find other opportunities, other
sources of income. Are they going to be allowing these people to come back to their jobs? Or are they going to be going through
I would assume so, but it wasn't.
They could survive for 2 years.
It wasn't. It wasn't really clear. I would assume the way it sounds, they'll all have to reapply. They'll all have to, go back through the hiring process. I would assume that if you were a good employee and you liked working there, you'll probably have the opportunity
available in
to
2020 in the future.
Yeah. It's really unusual for a business, like you said, it's really unusual for a business to take that long of a layoff to do anything. 6 months. And the other thing I was thinking about was, what about the people who had events scheduled this summer and this fall? I mean,
I wonder.
They host
weird.
A whole variety of events.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. I mean, of course,
weddings,
they probably
they plan ahead and things like that.
But that's a lot of time.
And now I imagine they'll employ a bunch of people during the construction phase.
Right.
Right.
So
different people.
Maybe not a big net loss to the employment figures in Canandaigua.
No. But we also have the latest on the investigation into a shooting in an apartment complex in Geneva and the resignation of Auburn Comptroller Laura Wills and much, much more. Check out FingerLakes1.com for the latest headlines.
I think that shooting in Geneva was kind of quiet. Like anytime shots are fired anywhere in the region, in Finger Lakes region, that's huge news. I think and it just seems like it was just shots were fired and they're investigating.
It seems that this is not the first time in Geneva in the last year or so that shots have been fired into an apartment or an apartment complex. A lot of times, I'm going to say in the instance that I'm last thinking of, beyond this one that most recently happened, there weren't any arrests made. Yeah. So I think a lot of people might just be sort of resigned to the fact that, well, it happened, and until law enforcement can prove that they found somebody who might be a suspect, it's kind of a, in one ear out the other kind of thing.
That's
unfortunately.
Scary. Yeah, that's scary. Okay.
But yes, lots of other news, lots of good news. We get a lot of comments from people on social media saying that we're always focusing on the negative. We're always focusing on the negative things, and I
that's not true.
I'm hesitant to fall into that trap because it's one of those things. I mean, the news happens really fast, and a lot of times what people wind up getting or thinking is big news because of what they're seeing on Facebook is literally from the process that's playing out on Facebook. So every time somebody comments on a story, every time somebody likes an article, it pushes it up in the news feed. So you're going to see more and more and more of that particular thing. And if that particular thing is a bad thing, a story you consider bad, you're going to automatically assume, or the assumption seems to be, that we're dwelling or focusing on it.
We're not focusing on the bad. What if we have to report those things? That we have to report those things. We're doing it 24/7, and if it happens, we have to report it. We report it before anybody else. We are generally more comprehensive than anybody else, and so when bad things happen, we're going to report it. But we obviously highlight a lot of good things right from this studio.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes.
Or a calendar of events, or
I
say local sports
to
coverage.
Everyone, all of our readers, all of our listeners, if you see something on Facebook that you don't like, scroll by it and don't react to it.
Right.
Because that's going to be that's the way. I mean, it's not on us. It's what Facebook is doing. Yeah. So if you want to beat the system, you have to actually participate in that system on Facebook and play by their rules, not ours.
Right. Very true. Okay. None of that, Jim.
Shoveled this morning. Was up late last night.
Oh, no. You need a shot of espresso. I was in Wayne
last night, Ontario.
Is it a good game?
Yeah, it was a good game.
Good.
Yeah, and then a long night. And
yes.
Shoveling this morning.
All right. Well, let's take a look at this weekend's events. First up on Saturday, it's the annual Fire and Ice Canandaigua Winter Festival from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Details: chili cook-offs, top brewery competitions, and lots more in downtown Canandaigua. It's a great day to spend strolling Main Street.
That's probably the big one this weekend. There's not a lot going on this time of year in terms of big festivals. That's a good one. You can just show up some point during the day and kill some time.
Yes. Also, Finger Lakes Community College Foundation will present Vintners and Valentines, a fundraiser for the viticulture and hospitality programs at Finger Lakes Community College on Friday from 6 to 9 p.m. Showcasing Finger Lakes wineries, each table will be hosted by a local winery or a student from the viticulture program, pairing wines with a gourmet 5-course meal designed and prepared by FLCC culinary students. One of the highlights will be a wine pull with a limited number of tickets featuring library, cellar, or gold medal wines from local wineries, dignitaries, and collectors. The event will be held in the Student Center at FLCC's Canandaigua campus. Tickets are $125 per person. That's $125 per person.
Not cheap, but you get a 5-course meal and some wine and everything. So.
Yeah, yep. Of course, more events are available at our community calendar under the local listings tab at our homepage at fingerlakes1.com.
We're getting some plowing action in the parking lot at Finger Lakes 1.
Oh boy, good. I might have to go brush my car off though before I leave. All right, let's take a look at our top local photos. We start with a photo from the one and only Rachel Burkholder of the icy Glen as seen from the Indian Trail at Watkins Glen State Park on Sunday afternoon.
Yes.
That looks so cold. Doesn't that look cold?
Yeah, it's a tall picture too, so you can see the full one. It's pretty spectacular.
Yes.
If you go to our photo gallery.
Beautiful. Also from Rachel, Sunday was beautiful and sunny, and the lake was a crystal blue as seen from the Watkins Glen Harbor on Sunday afternoon.
Peak Finger Lakes right there.
I'm sure it looks
Still
different
looks cold.
right now at this moment.
I bet. Yep.
Yes. Shelley Lannon found one of our local snowy owls on Friday evening in Ontario County. Oh my gosh, I just love the snowy owls.
Strange beasts.
I love them. Beautiful.
Those snowy owls.
Yep. From Brooke Gordon, the streets of Penn were standing out with color on a gray winter day last week. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
From Mike Sargent on Monday morning on Canandaigua Lake, as the redheads were still around without much room to maneuver. We've had lots of redheaded pictures from Mike every week, but this is probably one of my favorites. I love that.
Look at them all. Those are all individuals. You know what I mean?
Well,
it's like just look at them, like look at all the redhead, but each one is its own entity, its own being, its own
bird.
Yeah.
Do you think they look at us like that when they see a crowd of people at a festival? All of these individual beings.
I don't. But you know,
they probably don't do too much thinking. In reality,
we put so much on our individuality nowadays, and how important each person is. Those ducks are individuals too, with different personalities, different skill sets, strengths and weaknesses.
Goodness. That's right. Jim, the advocate for the birds. All right, another from Mike Sargent on Wednesday morning in Mike's Farmington backyard. The sparrow did not seem pleased with the snowy morning. Oh,
he's like, "What you talking about, Willis?"
I absolutely love that picture. I'm usually not a bird picture fan, but this is I absolutely, when I saw that and I was like, wow, that bird really has some personality.
That is super cute.
He's his own bird, just like the redhead ducks.
That's right. Oh, goodness. All right, this shot was captured by Steve Eichhorn about an hour before the sun came up in Ontario County. Oh,
that's cool, but I think the sun's already up.
That's beautiful.
Right? Or is that the moon?
That's
still?
the moon. Yeah, that's the moon.
Yeah, I would have guessed that was
He
the
must
moon,
have
but
had
maybe
some
it
sort
is.
of
I don't know.
Open the lens on the camera or something.
Yeah.
Pretty
Beautiful.
cool.
From Tina Fenton, the sun stayed out just long enough to melt some of the snow in Penn.
Penn outlet.
Mm-hmm. The ice ranged from 6 to 18 inches thick on Cuca Lake amid the cold winter weather in this photo by Brooke Gordon.
She's right on there.
Oh,
you guys ever walk on the lake?
That photo
when it
was
freezes?
taken directly in the middle of the lake.
Yeah,
That's
I've walked
scary.
across Cuba Lake before in my younger days when it was frozen.
You did?
Yeah. Probably not the smartest thing to do because when we got to the middle, it got a little dicey.
Oh my
And-
gosh.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree with that sentiment.
No, thanks. All right, a dramatic scene on Canandaigua Lake over the weekend in this photo by Ashley Gilbert.
Wow.
Oh my, that's beautiful.
Very dramatic.
Wow.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird though, doesn't it? The water usually freeze from the shore first and then in the middle?
Strange. It's very strange.
But it might melt the same way. It might melt from the shore.
Out.
So this might have been a...
True.
Science.
Beautiful. All right, finally, the sun was peeking through the limbs on Canandaigua Lake in this shot from Micah Johnson.
Cool.
Oh, that's a cool shot too. Yeah, really cool. Oh man, there were a couple that I'm just stuck with.
What do you think?
Well, I think it was pretty easy for me. I'm going with the Angry Sparrow.
You are?
I am.
Okay, that was one of mine, but
He had
I'll
some
go with
attitude.
the other one by Ashley Gilbert. That one on Canandaigua Lake, that was really pretty. It was
The dramatic shot.
moody picture, yeah.
The dramatic shot.
Oh, man.
choice.
Now I got to choose between one of those two. I
Yep.
wasn't going to choose either one. I was going to go with the Redhead Ducks. But, it's really cool. But if I got to choose between one of those two.
Yep.
Sorry, Mike. I'm going to go with the Canandaigua just for something different. It's out in...
Yes.
Yeah, that is kind of unique and different.
It is.
They're both good.
It looks like the scene of a movie would start with a storm, and that's the picture that the camera
Who took
would
this
be.
one?
This was by Ashley Gilbert.
Okay, congrats. Actually, you won the photo of the week.
Yes, well, they were all beautiful. Thank you so much for sending them in. If you'd like to send your local photos from across the region, click on the link in the Submit Content section at the bottom right side of our homepage at fingerlakes1.com. All right, Jim, what do we have going on in sports right now?
Syracuse basketball's in action Sunday, 1 o'clock in the Dome versus Wake Forest. They got a nice road win against Louisville on Monday. They lost at Wake Forest early January, so let's hope that they can win that one.
Yes.
Cornell basketball's at Brown Friday at 7 and at Yale Saturday at 7. Cornell hockey rose to number 1, lost to RPI last weekend, who had 4 wins prior to beating Cornell. I think the new polls come out today, so they might stay number 1. I'm not sure, but they're at Clarkson Friday at 7, at St. Lawrence on Saturday at 7. High school basketball Thursday night, we're going to be at Clyde Savannah High School for Lions versus Clyde in the game of the century.
Yeah, another good one.
Yeah, it's a real big week at Finger Lakes 1. Last night we saw Minders beat Wayne and Wayne to pull even in the Finger Lakes East title chase, and then Lions and Clyde are tied at 13-1 in Wayne County, and that's going to change.
It's about to change.
Thursday night, unless the game ends in a tie, and I've never seen a high school basketball game end in a tie because they have overtime.
Right.
Other than that, cool golf tournament on the PGA Tour this weekend at Pebble Beach, the Pro-Am.
Yep.
If you want to watch something while you're home. But and Section 5 football refs, we had a couple of them in. Finger Lakes area football refs, actually, because they share Section 4 and Section 5 and do some youth football as well. They were in studio Monday as guests on Weber this week, a couple of them, Dan Miller and Doug Roll, and they're recruiting now. So watch that episode if you have any interest in becoming a high school football referee. It's a fun way to get out and on the field underneath the Friday night lights and earn a little extra money. So check that out.
Nice.
If that's something that might float your boat.
Yeah.
I'll have all the results from all the weekend action as usual.
Great.
At fingerlakes1.com or on the app.
Awesome. Well, how was your weekend, guys? You had a Super Bowl. It was the Super Bowl. I know, for me, that was the most exciting Super Bowl I've ever watched.
It was a good game.
It was a good
game.
Offensively. Yeah, I watched it at home. No party, because we had our party Saturday, and that was a great party. I ate so much.
You did.
Lots of boiling.
So much I got sick. So much you could feel I just bursting from the inside. I kept stuffing food in my mouth.
Yep.
It's sad.
Oh,
No self-control.
oh, no.
But it was a good game. I won a few bucks. My couple squares came in.
Nice.
Excellent.
Nice. And you got your new counters, so you
We got some
you
new
weren't
counters.
cooking chili. Did you end up cooking
No, we didn't do
chili?
the chili cook-off for the first time in like 13 years or something like that, or however long it's been, because we had no countertops. But they're in
That's
now,
a good excuse.
so next year it'll be back. The chili, Super Bowl chili.
So have you been in the kitchen since since you got your new countertops, or no?
Oh, yeah, I live there. I don't avoid that room. Yeah, no, it came out great. It's
Good.
fun. New sink and everything.
That's exciting.
Yeah, next we're tearing out a carpet down in the downstairs. It's a tri-level.
Uh-huh.
And so this ground level where everybody enters, we're going to tear out the carpet and put in some, I don't know if it's laminate flooring, but they piece together like a puzzle, the wood.
Yeah.
You know, is that called laminate?
They have
Not
it both
laminate.
ways, but
Laminate
they
sticks.
No,
Like
they have it laminate
interlock
like that now.
hardwood.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Because their stupid puppy ruined the downstairs carpet. It's disgusting. So I'm getting that out.
Yeah, it happens with puppies.
He's a bad dog.
Naughty.
Poor dog.
George.
No, he's not. He has the life. He's a bad dog that
He's
doesn't
so
appreciate the opportunity we've given him as an individual.
He's so
Do you
cute,
allow him
though.
to express himself?
How he expresses himself, whether we allow him or not.
That's so cute. What'd you guys end up doing for the Super Bowl?
We wound up doing absolutely nothing.
Oh, good.
Absolutely nothing. It was just a
that's
nice,
okay. That's
relaxing
good, yeah.
day, nice, relaxing weekend.
Yes, good.
Didn't have any real investment in the game itself.
Yeah.
I mean, so it was
We
just
didn't either,
it
but
was
I
a
was
nice.
I wanted to
for
see the
Eagles.
Patriots lose, so that was good. The other
Yeah.
interesting thing, now that Philadelphia has won the only conference in all the National Football League to have every member win a Super Bowl is the
NFC East.
NFC East, right?
Oh.
Giants, Redskins, Cowboys, Eagles.
Yep.
Huh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
A spoil
Nice.
of riches for that division.
Yeah. Most of the Super Bowls, other than this one by the Eagles, came a long time ago, though. Or, well, the Giants won recently, I guess, kind of recently when they beat New England.
Yep.
What's on the agenda this weekend?
Photo shoots. I have a couple photo shoots I'm doing makeup for.
Okay. Excellent. Jim?
I don't know. We got a 6th grade girls basketball game on Saturday. I think I got to tear up carpet, as I mentioned.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know. Not too much. Following weekend's Valentine's Day. It's also the last week of the regular season for high school basketball.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
sectionals pick up, and it's gonna be a great postseason for sectional basketball this year too. So,
Awesome.
and then we are moving a little closer and closer towards legitimate spring. You know, Valentine's Day is the halfway
Yes.
point of February. Literally, it's the 14th. 28 days in the month.
Yep.
And then before you know it, it'll be March, and then all bets are off. Anything can happen in March.
That's true, but the groundhog did see his shadow.
Yeah, but that's
I knew
6
he would.
weeks, so that's
What a
only 2
farce.
weeks into March, and he's not a meteorologist.
He knows nothing. You want to talk about somebody who has too much individuality? That groundhog. He needs to just not be welcomed anymore because it's ridiculous. And in 2018, we're still participating in this little ritual, this game.
It's a little fun little thing on February
Fun.
2nd. I don't think anybody cares really anymore, but it's nice.
No.
Did he see his shadow or didn't he?
It's my son's birthday, so that's always the highlight of that day for us.
Nice.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up for us today. How are we doing on time? I know we started a little bit later.
We're good. Take us out.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us today. If you'd like to drop us a line, send an email to contact@fingerlakes1.com. If you enjoy the show, click like, share, subscribe. We'll be back next Wednesday afternoon. Until then, have a great weekend here in the Finger Lakes. Bye-bye. Noon.